So this is my GUI project for the hardware-software interface midterm. As you can see, I use tkinter for this, and what I did was keep everything in one folder, and then this is the same data files with RGB and thermal. And the one thing I couldn't sort out was how to actually display the images. I was having a lot of problems with the file paths and the slashes being different from Windows to Linux or Mac. So I couldn't figure out how to actually display the images. So I did leave what I thought was the correct command in here, and the indexes for these should refer to the correct file path and image, but again I just couldn't get them to actually display these as well, so I commented them out, but again I left them in the code. So this should work on any machine as long as the annotation file is in the same location as the Python script, and as long as those are both in the same folder as the or same location as the data folder. So when you run this, this is the window that initially pops up, and then when you click RGB, I have it set up so that it prints the file path for the first image in the RGB folder, and typically that would load, or that's supposed to load into the left canvas in the window, but again I couldn't get the images to actually load, but again I wanted to display that the image I'm trying to load is in fact the correct one. RGB button also gets grayed out after you initialize it. Same thing with the thermal button, so again this is showing that the file path is correct. And then finally the same kind of deal with the annotation. So this is showing the annotation associated with the first JPEG in both folders. So then what I did is when you click the arrow buttons, you can see that this advanced from 92 on both of them to 696 on both of them, and then also you can see that the annotation is different as well. So it is advancing correctly through the files, but again, the program just crashes if I try to actually display it because I can't figure out how to handle the double slashes that end up in here because of it being Windows OS. So then if you click all the way through here, you can see all of these are changing in the console, and then when it gets to the last image, a little window pops up that says this is the last image. And similarly, if we go all the way back, it says this is the first image, tells you to stop clicking. So we're on the first image now. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images in, and then you click log, it will log up to that 5th image, and that is saved as a new log file in the same location as the Python script and the annotation file. And so as you can see in the log file, that's saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images. So it tells you which images you have already clicked through. Similarly, say we're on, so this would be 4, this is the 3rd image, and so this is the annotation for that 3rd image here. And then if we hit save, it says the annotation has been saved successfully. And then we can check that, and then it does create a new file, and we can see that that is the same annotation as the last file that we were viewing. There is also a little quit button that I added. Asks if you want to quit. You say no, returns you to the app, and if you say yes, it destroys the whole process. A couple of things that are a little goofy about this that I couldn't get completely sorted out is that the big thing being I couldn't figure out how to get the images to display, but also if you try to create a new log file when there's already one created, I did this as exclusive write, so it won't write over it. But what that means is the program does crash if there's already a log.txt file, and same thing with the save.txt file. So I could do those as just exclusive write files and rewrite the file every time, but my intention was to do some kind of exception, but I couldn't get the exception working for those. And I believe those are all of the major requests for this. Oh, the other thing is that the log file will save all of the images that you have viewed, but it will not start from the next image if you close the program and reopen it again. So it doesn't use that log file to decide which index it's going to start from. So I believe that is all of the nuances of my program, and thank you very much.